Give me the option to record. Yeah, there we go. All right. I think we're just about ready. Guys, if you can hear me, give me a wave. Just give me a little wave. Tom, if we hit a point where somebody is unmuting themselves and we're listening to their dog in the background, just please just mute all and tell me, and I will just go unmute myself. We'll figure all that out. To everybody out there, please don't be that person that does that, but it's inevitable with the numbers that somebody's going to do that. Tom, you're staying on top of the admitting people in here, correct? So I'll let you handle that. Guys, thumbs up. You guys ready to go? Thumbs up. You guys ready to go? We got a lot of pages here. You know the other thing we need to figure out, Tom? I want to get I think there's a way in the settings to put like 100 people on page one. Like I want to see as many people as I possibly can. Okay. Um, Sweet. Well, let's get going, guys. So, as I said before, first off, welcome to all of you. We appreciate your time. This is not going to be a super long call. Quite frankly, I've got another training I've got to do as well. And if you hear my voice crack during this presentation today, I promise you I'm not re-entering puberty. It's just I'm just still getting my voice back. Okay. It's amazing how, you do the advance, you talk a lot, but then you go to the neon party. How many of you were at the neon party, just out of curiosity? Guys, we're already planning for what next year's party is gonna be. We know what it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be a Diddy party. We know that for sure. But we're coming up with what kind of party it's gonna be. Tom's like, yes, that is correct. I think sometimes Tom sits over there and goes, "What? We should be on a 7 second delay. Like we should definitely be on a 7 second delay." But we're already. You guys can't see it, but Linda's actually sitting right next to me. Do you want to pop your head in? Pop your arm in? I don't think they can.
Linda.
So hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Hey, Linda.
You're her favorite people, just not enough for her to actually show her face. That's all I'm saying. Only one of us actually got on camera, and it wasn't the woman to my right. So anyway, we're already planning, guys, what that's going to be. We're back at the same resort, only we're in a bigger area. So we have a bigger room, we have bigger breakouts, and I think we found that people like the party. And I don't think that I'm speaking out of turn here when I say whoever didn't go, you missed out on the neon party. That was a freaking blast. Like
It was
that was
awesome.
so much fun. So anyway, uh, we officially launched at the advance, and now I'm going to give you guys a little bit more details, and I'm going to screen share with you on what we're actually doing, and I'm going to show you where we're at right now. And then at the end, I'm just being honest with you guys. I'm going to offer it out to all of you that don't have access now at a 25% discount, and this is the last time you're going to see that. Moving forward, it's going to be the regular price, and it'll probably go up. When we did our virtual stuff way back when the technology was where it was, there are people who are still paying $9 a month from like 12 years ago. And my team's always like, well, we got to raise the price on them. I'm like, no, we don't. They signed up when it was worth probably $8 a month, and they were overpaying at $9. And now we're in this place where we've been doing the virtual stuff for a long time, and that's kind of out. The tech on that isn't great right now. I mean, I know that. I've just been waiting for something better to come along. Okay, so we're going to show you what that is. We're going to save time for questions. The first thing I want to make sure everyone knows is that if you are a student of ours, if you're a one-on-one student, if you're a virtual student, if you are in a brokerage-wide training setup, everything we're going to talk about today, you already have. So you should have already gotten an email where you're going to set up your credentials for Jared James Academy. Jared James Academy is not only online, jaredjamesacademy.com, it's also an app. So there is an app in the App Store. Whether you have a Droid or an iPhone, just go to Jared James Academy and you will see it. Okay. It's going to ask you to change your password, and we'll go into all that kind of stuff. But let's talk about why we're doing this. Um, and Tom, I'm gonna have you monitor the chat and everything in case there's anything really important that comes up. When we talk about why we're doing this, I have been a believer for years, and I haven't talked about it publicly because it wasn't beneficial to do so. Where you have people like myself and others that all we do is talk to you guys about how much everything's changing. And look, my message lately has been, what hasn't changed. We need to go all in on that, but I have been talking to you a lot about how everything's changing and how consumer behavior is changing and how the industry is changing and how if you're not changing with it, and you guys have heard me talk about this. And the unfortunate truth is that about the only thing that hasn't changed is how coaching and training is done. And I think that's a problem. And I've known that's a problem. We just didn't have the tech to do anything about it. And so, when you look at what's changed in coaching and training, take one-on-one for example. About the only thing that's changed from back in the early days of like Mike Ferry, who's kind of like the godfather of one-on-one coaching. We went from teleconference calls to Zoom, or Google Meets, and that was our big change. And yet, we live in a world, and I think most of you would agree that we live in a world where we're very on demand. We don't watch shows week after week anymore. We binge watch them. Many people don't even go to theaters as much. They Netflix it. It's a very on demand world. And so I started looking at the way that we're doing our coaching and training, and I just kind of said, like, there's just got to be a better way. Like, there's got to be. There's got to be a way to train people, to give people what they need in a way that is that fits the world they live in, that fits the way that they actually interact as, because you guys are my consumer. And so how do I adjust for you as my consumer? And so we've made this adjustment, which I'm going to show you guys right now. And somebody's saying, will this be recorded and sent out? I just saw that pop up. As long as tech works, let's hope. You can never count on it fully, but as long as tech works. And so, I talked about my team with this for years, and we didn't really have to do this. I won't get into numbers with you guys, but like Tom knows, whatever. We have a lot of people in our programs. We have literally tens of thousands of people in our programs and in our virtuals and in our it's insane. Like I am the most grateful man on earth. Like I can't tell you enough. Like I literally could do nothing else, and I'm just like, this is insane. Like this is so freaking cool. And I talked about when we were at the advance, I talked about how, you have to fail at least 15 to 20% of the time. Otherwise you never hit that zone of optimal push, where, when you succeed too much, you become afraid of failure. You're like, I have to keep succeeding. And I talk to you guys all the time about, the idea of like putting yourself out of business. And I can't tell you how often I'd go on runs and everything, and I'm just thinking about it. And I'm like, what would be a threat to me? What would put me out of business? What would I join or not join if I was in the industry? And the answers that I kept coming to were like things we couldn't do at the time. And lucky for me, nobody else was either. So I was just like, well, this is great. Like, this is, I guess, we just had to hold it out. We just, I said the other day, it's like we were bravehearting it. It was just like, hold, and we'd keep looking at technology and stuff. And I'm like, no, that's not it. No, that ain't it. That's not it. And so now we feel like we're at a place where we can do that. And so I'm going to show you guys what we're doing. And I'm also going to tell you where we're going right now. Now that the advance is done, myself and my team, like this is like what we're focused on now. And so this is going to be a fun ride. And what you're signing up for now is not what you're going to be experiencing 3 months from now, as far as what we're adding and what we're doing. So with that being said, I'm going to screen share here. I don't know if it'll let me screen share my phone or um, just my computer, but I think we're about to find out. Can somebody tell me when they see, one second here. Do you see sign into your account? Is that what you guys are looking at?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right. So guys, there's two different ways this is going to work. Okay. So we now have this thing called Jared James Academy. I know, a very that was a tough name to come up with. That name may change at some point, guys, just so you know. So Jared James Academy is not only online when you go to jaredjamesacademy.com. If you're not a member yet, there's going to be a thing down here you'll click. This is not a member, click here. We are building out everything on our site as far as going to explain it and all that stuff. And then you're going to have on your phone, let me see if it'll let me do this. Let's try this here, guys. Now, this one may not work. If this one doesn't work, just give me a second. I'm going to jump back to that in a second anyway. But I just more so want to know, for moving forward when I'm working with you guys, can I do this or can I not do this? So let's try this. Here we go. Boom. MacBook Pro. Give it a second here. Usually it fails and then it does it the second time. Okay. And can you guys see Jared James Academy on my phone?
No, it just says that you started screen sharing.
All right. Well, then you know what? We're just going to figure that out later, and we're not even going to do that one. We'll just do the actual screen right now as it was. So let me pull back to the regular screen. Okay. Once again, you guys see the regular screen, Jared James Academy?
Yes.
All right. Well, you guys, this isn't the best tech way to do it, but like on my phone right now, I have Jared James Academy as well. Zoom is acting up. That's what happens. That's why I said as long as tech works, we'll have a recording. But again, if you are on an iPhone, you're on a Droid, Jared James Academy, you have the app now. Okay, and there's some advantages to that, which we'll go over a little bit. But when you go here, you're going to log in, and when you get into your academy, we are doing a ton of work in here right now. Okay, so in your academy, first off, there are various courses. So right now, when you go to community, it's going to our Facebook group. That's not the way it's going to be in the next couple of months because we have an actual community built in here that we want to learn more about before we launch to everybody. Where we're going to have a lot of threads and community happening. That's only going to be the Jared James Academy, which I think is important because we've heard from students for years that they would like to have some kind of closed area just for students that isn't everyone else. And so this is where that's going to live. Okay. On here also, you're going to have complete control over everything you do, and there's also going to be complete tracking. Now, for those of you that are brokerage wide clients, I know a lot of you have wanted that. That is so tough to find. We now have that. Okay. And not only where, an admin can see it, but also where an individual can go in and see where they've left off and what they've done and what they've watched and where they are on a course, or if you want to pick up where you left off, whatever it may be. Um, that's all going to be on there for you. When you go to your profile, you got to upload your photo. This is simple stuff, guys. I don't want to spend a ton of time on. This is where you're going to upload your photo, your information. You do have the ability to make yourself private. I'm really hoping none of you do that. I think we want to be seen by each other. That's why we're in this community. You can now change your password on your own. Guys, you can't have multiple people logged in under the same username and password. That won't work. So the idea that I'll just buy one for the office and we'll all do it. That's not going to work. We're going to have gamification in here with achievements for people. We're also going to have achievements based on, where you are in your career. And where that is really helpful is when it comes to uh, uh, talking to people or being in the community and getting answers to questions. You're going to know if they're a coach. You're going to know if they're a major team leader. You're going to know if there's someone who's done 100 million in production. You're going to know who you're talking to. We're probably going to create when we do challenges, we're going to create these achievements, and we're going to have challenges within the group for people where we'll have listings challenges, and we'll have like just all sorts of, conversation challenges and call challenges, and it's going to do things to motivate each other and keep each other up. When you go into your preferences, this is where I said you can make your profile private, but we really prefer that you don't do that. We want people to be active in here. That's really kind of the whole point of this whole thing. Okay. Make sure you have your notifications turned on, not only on your desktop here like this, but also when you download the app. You're not going to get useless notifications, guys. This is not the, hey, it's new. Like this is literally going to be only useful stuff. So when you download that app, we would really appreciate if you keep those notifications on. That's going to be helpful. Right now, when you go in, you are going to see right now, and we're in the process of doing others. If you remember the way we did this before on the virtual dashboard, we did where I do like monthly series. Okay. We're no longer doing that. We now are just putting everything here for you. And you're literally just going to be able to, whatever course it is that you want to go through, you're going to have that course available to you. Okay. And these courses are part of your academy now. Okay. And we're adding even more courses now to here. So you're going to have everything you need, whether for yourself, whether there's another time that you need it, whether you need to go back to a particular, for example, we talked about working with investors on the last one. And so, when you go into working with investors, you've got, that course here for working with investors. And I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear this or not, but like, for example, if I start this, can you guys hear that? No? Yes? Okay. Well, then we're going to turn it off. Um, but like, you're going to have courses available to you. We're going to be listening to you on what courses you need. We really want to become like the hub of like what you guys need, okay, on a regular basis. And so you're going to have all of that in here. The new thing that's happening that's really going to be kind of cool is with us now taking a lot of those series and things and now turning them into courses for you guys. What we're also now going to be doing, let me turn this off here, is I'm going live with you guys twice a month, me personally. Okay. And what those lives are going to entail is going to be a few different things. we're going to start so for example, I talked about at the advance when I did a session on the way I would dominate in your market, and I talked about 10 different things. So we are going to do a series next with live calls. Those live calls will be recorded and sent out to you. They'll be on your app. They'll be in your academy. And I'm now that closing keynote on day one that I did on how I would dominate in your area, and I talked about 10 key things that I'd be doing. We are now going to take individual calls, and I am going to go deep dive into each one of those over a series now. And I'm going to literally screen share and be like, here's where you go to get this. Here's how you set this person up. Here's how you, and we are going to go. Remember, we talked about at the advance about focusing on the boring, and like doing the boring stuff. I never thought this would be a sale to people, but like, I'm going to do the boring stuff with you. Okay. And I'm going to actually show you. And then I'm going to leave you the opportunity to ask me questions. Say, how are we doing that? How are we, I've said forever, the smartest person in the room is the room. And so I want to leverage this community now. When someone says, yeah, but I'm trying to get a virtual assistant. And I go, well, this is where you go. Well, and I want three other people to jump in and be like, I'm using blank and she is amazing or he is amazing. Here's the contact info. Or when we talk about creating a certain video and we go to Fiverr or go to whatever, I want you guys as a community to step up and be like, I used so-and-so and he was quick and amazing and, whatever. And now we're going to kind of get the advantage of the whole room, as that makes sense. Okay. I made some comments at the advance and I said, guys, I believe broker to broker compensation is going away, that it's no longer going to be a thing, that it's, I don't agree with it. I don't like it, but here's why. And so we'll probably do a training where I go in depth on that, but then I'll bring on, if you guys saw, I brought up at the advance, I brought up John Mangus and I said, and he goes, we're making more money. He goes, we're making 17 point something% more. And it's one thing for him to be like, well, really quickly, we're doing this on the list side and then this on the buy side. That's great. And that gives you guys, I guess, some hope, but wouldn't it be better if I brought somebody like that on for 30 to 60 minutes and I said, let's break it down. What are you actually doing in your contract? What are the conversations you're having? What are the objections that you're hearing? And how are you overcoming that? By a show of hands, guys, isn't that more helpful? Like, isn't that like, that's the boring stuff where I have this thing where it's like, I'm trying to figure out the nice way to say this, but like, we're at a point as a company where like, we're fine. You know what I mean? Like, we're good. We have enough members. We have enough whatever. We're good. I'm at this thing right now where I'm just obsessed with how do we do the actual practical stuff with you guys that actually changes your business, that actually moves the needle. That is the difference between, hey, if you go from here to here, that's amazing. Well, what are the things in between? What's the boring crap that nobody's putting on Instagram, And that's really one of the reasons why I want to get to doing live with you. The other thing that this brings up, the academy. The academy is going to have what we call various hubs. And these hubs have various access levels. Okay. So everyone at the lowest level, which is that main, access to the lives, access to the courses, that kind of stuff. Everybody's got access to that. Okay. We're going to have an in-between level that will be launching in the next couple of months, which is going to be where you are a student, but you're not a one-on-one student. You don't have a dedicated coach, but we have coaches, several different things going on at once, where for a whole quarter, they are teaching on a weekly basis a very particular, a specific topic. So whether that's going to be something like team building, whether that's brokerage finances, whether that's recruiting and retention, whether that's getting listings, whether that's whatever that thing is going to be, we're going to have an in-between level that you guys will hear about where if you're in that, you get everything below it. But now each quarter, you get to find small groups that are being taught on a very particular topic that maybe you don't need for the next 12 months. Maybe you don't need it for the next 2 years. I need to go deep dive on that and have access to a coach and talk to them and have a small group where I can learn that thing. And then the next quarter, I can either replay and do that again, or I can say, hey, I want to go to that thing now. What's being offered next quarter? Does that make sense to everybody? And we're getting what we actually need in the time we need it. Okay. And so now we're going to be able to offer stuff like that up. Let's talk about another thing. The other thing we're going to be able to do, I believe that as people, we are all in real estate, but we're more complex than real estate. I said when I was at the advance, I think one of the things that bothers me is like, okay, I teach real estate, I teach real estate, I teach real estate, but like if your health is out of order, it doesn't matter. A top producer that dies is a dead top producer. See what I'm saying? Like it's just I don't know how else to say it. Like uh you can follow all the strategy in the world if you have no energy, if your health is off, like it doesn't matter. And so part of what the Academy is going to offer is not just the ongoing real estate strategy and the ongoing lives with me, but I'll have, people like this lady come in and do sessions or do quarters where she talks about health and talks about what's it look like. It's different for every person. How do you figure that out? And what does an actual regime, health or exercise routine look like? Like what does, and we're going to give you guys the opportunity to hear the other things. Some of you have interest, and you guys don't have to take advantage of these other things. I'm just saying we're going to offer them. You guys know that this sounded weird to say it that way, but like I've got a lot of friends. I've got a lot of friends who have done a lot of stuff. And I've waited a long time and I haven't leveraged any of those relationships. But now I think I will. And, a lot of these tech CEOs and these number one brokers in the world and, these, CEOs of brands and these types of things, why not bring them in and have them teach on what it's like to what's the difference between a tech, company and your company, teach on leadership, teach on the financial side of running a major company, or teach on basically the things that you guys want to hear about. This gives us the ability to teach real estate, but then also, what are the other things you want to hear about? Let's leverage it. Let's put it in the academy. Let's make this about more than just how do I get a listing? It's like, yeah, let's get listings. Let's talk about what we do with buyers. Yeah, let's talk about those things. But let's talk about what happens in between. Let's talk about all the other things that matter. Maybe we have a thing. Maybe we have sections that break off, and you've got someone like her teaching ladies in leadership, and what's the difference, and how does it work, and what like guys, I don't care. Like whatever. We're gonna now have the ability to do this. We'll probably do a whole quarter just on social, and what does that look like? And we'll probably do a whole like there's just so many things that are now going to be available to us and housed in a way that it comes with us everywhere we go. It's on demand. And as we add these other layers of options, you're going to be able to spend the amount of time that you actually need to master something or do something, and then go on to the next thing, or go back and repeat, or do it, go on the next thing, and then go back and repeat. Like you're gonna decide what it is you need, and I think we can do that in a way where we house it all. We have one-on-one, we have strictly virtual, we have something in between, and more importantly, we have a community that talks to each other and helps each other. I can tell you right now, some of the biggest things people get from, for example, coming to the advance. I would love to say it's everything I say on stage, but I know for a fact that so much of what people bring with them, and that's long term, is the relationships and the conversations and the learnings that they have 6 months after the advance with the people that they meet there. And there's something about that I just love, and I want to be a place where we do that. Okay. And we now have the ability to do that. Okay. So I'm going to go into questions with you guys. I want to make sure that you all know too, for those of you that do end up joining, I'm gonna show you guys how you join and that kind of stuff. But our bi-weekly calls are going to start on Monday, October 7th. Okay. For those of you that are members, I can't put the link out right now because there's people on here who aren't members. But for those of you who are members, that link is going to be found right in your academy. When you scroll down, I know you probably can't see this right now, but when you scroll down at the bottom on your app, or when you go into the academy, on your computer, and you just scroll down. There's going to be a new image there that says your next live call with Jared, and it's going to have a place where you register. For right now, guys, those live calls we're doing through Zoom. Zoom has a way of, once you register, going into your spam. So rather than get a couple hundred people going, I don't have the link to get on, just please check your spam first. And then once you check your spam first, we will then, get you what you need, whatever. But you can solve a whole lot of people jumping around trying to find it for you if you just check your spam. Like email filters, I know Dan Stewart talked about it at the advance. Email filters have gotten just a lot more stringent. Okay. So I'm going to share this with you guys. I'm going to tell you guys what our offer is here, and then I'm going to go into questions with you. Again, I want to say one more time, anybody who is already a student, a member, whatever it is, you're already on there. Okay. So I'm going to put into the chat over here. Give me a second right now, guys. Here's what we're going to do. If you look in your chat, there is a link there. So the Academy is going to start off when we launch to the public. It's going to start at $100 a month, or I think it's like $1,100 for the year. For you guys now who are not members that want to be members, if you go to that link on there, it's literally only going to, and this is for life as long as you're a member, it'll be $75 a month, which is absurd for the amount of value that we're going to be giving you. Or it's going to be $900 for the year. Okay. If you want to get that tax write off and just go for it, $75 a month, $900 for the year. You're going to get access to all of those courses. The new courses we add, you'll have access to. We're going to be adding stuff on a regular basis. We now have the setup to do it, which is one of the things we've been waiting for. You're going to get all of the lives with me. You're going to get all of the lives that I do with other people on a regular basis. You're going to get access to that community where you guys are helping each other and going back and forth. We're redeveloping right now all of our templates and scripts. You guys get all of that stuff for free. Like, you guys are going to get all of that stuff. It is an absolute ridiculous sell. Like, there's no reason to not be in it. Okay. And one of the reasons why I can bring on the people that I'm going to bring on, whether it's, the leader of the number one this in the world, or the CEO tech of, whatever it is because we have the numbers we do. And so it's well worth it for them. So that will only be $75 a month or $900 for the year. The link, again, I put it in there, but a lot of, I know that there's a lot of people chatting in there. So some of you will see it'll go away, whatever. We'll find a way to just keep putting it in the chat for you guys. With that being said, I see Anne, it looks like you have a question. Anne, go ahead and unmute yourself. I love the idea that you guys are like raising your hand and then let's get to questions. So yeah, Anne, I see your question raised. If you want to unmute yourself, go ahead and jump in here. I think I hear you. Nope, you're muted. Hold on. You know what? I'll do? I just asked you to unmute. See what it says. Can you unmute?
I'm just wondering if you joined during the advance, when you scan the QR code, do you need to do it again?
No. You're already a member. So, Anne, first off,
Okay.
hello. By the way, Anne, you ready for this?
Yeah,
My son's team is ranked 21 in the country right now.
that's awesome.
Yeah, they just moved up. Yeah. So Anne is a soccer referee, and whenever I see her, I just want to talk soccer. So so no, guys, for those of you that signed up at the advance, I said sign up and you'll have more coming. If you have not seen your your email yet that tells you, hey, reset your password for the Academy, if you haven't seen that yet, number one, check your spam folder. Number two, you can email tom@jaredjamestoday.com and he'll take care of you. So I'm going to put him in the chat right now. tom@jaredjamestoday.com. He'll take care of you. He's got access to all that stuff. And he'll make sure that you're taken care of. It's just going to ask you to change your password, and then you're good to go. You can log in on the app. You can log in on the desktop. You have access to both. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, guys. I'm going to one more time for everybody. Just give you the link. By the way, if you go to the link and it gives you some kind of an error when you go to hit submit or something, sometimes when a lot of people go to one place on the internet, it sucks. Yeah, but it is what it is. You would think in today's world that'd be done happening, but it's not. It still happens. What other questions, guys? Mine was in my spam. I was already a member. Awesome. It's probably there for everyone. Yeah, guys, it was definitely sent to you. It's just a matter of email folders have gotten so just ridiculous now that like everything goes to spam. It's crazy. Please confirm if our broker is providing access to your training. Do we also members? Yes. Guys, I make dumb financial decisions sometimes. I'll be very honest with you. Like when it comes to us doing this new stuff and everything, I'm such a sucker for like I just want to give you guys as much value as I possibly can. And so, yeah, if your broker is already providing the training for you guys, you're in. If you haven't gotten your stuff again, check your spam because it was all sent out. And then if not, email Tom. If your broker no longer has a brokerage wide deal with us, then yeah, you'd have to sign up yourself. But again, guys, this is like the most ridiculously cheap. Like, guys, when you get in right now at 75 a month or 900 for the year, once that year is up, you'll go back to 75 a month. That never changes. If we raise it to 200, if we raise it to, you are grandfathered. Like that's it. Okay. So it really just doesn't make sense not to. Why does the app say my credentials aren't found? Sarah Mitchell asked Tom. Sarah, email Tom. It's possible that you're either using a different email than what we have on file for you. Is that a possible thing, Tom? Yeah, that's probably what it is. So just email Tom at jaredjamestoday.com. We can get you set up correctly. If you want to change your email, we can do that. If you want to, like, whatever it is, let's just get this initial work done of getting you into the academy, and then everything else is easy. From that point on, one of the reasons why we're gonna have different levels in the hub, and I'm just gonna keep putting the link, guys, because it's getting lost as people are chatting. One of the disadvantages, throw that in there, or one of the advantages of having various levels is that you might go into the second level, be there for 2 years, and say, I just want to drop back for a little bit. You might go to the second level, go, you know what, I really want to go to one-on-one coaching. Everything below whatever level you're at, you have access to. And we want, rather than people canceling or doing whatever, we want them moving around within the levels, and just staying within the community. And at the lowest level, if you're starting right now, you're paying $75 a month to be in this community. The idea that you will not get some point of value throughout the year that is more than $900 is insane. Like, obviously, you're going to get that. And then there will be other offers that we make throughout the year, whether it's for advanced tickets or vehicle, whatever it's going to be, that is only going to go to our student group. Like, that's it. So we will find ways to just create insane value for you. Um, and I'm always thinking like that. Like, what can we do? What can we do? Sometimes at our detriment. To give you an example, we just charged for VIP at the last event $199. And when you added it all up, the drink tickets and the lunch and the merch and all this kind of stuff, because everything is just astronomically expensive, it made no sense. Like we're like, yeah, that makes no sense. But we kind of bit the bullet and we're like, it is what it is. Like that's what we told them, let's do it. So we're always trying to provide value, guys. Oh, Bridget, there you are. I credit you 100% for the growth of my team, my success after speaking with you and coaching over 10 years ago. Thank you. I started as a solo agent and am now a team leader of a team of 18. Oh, Bridget, that just made my day, literally. By the way, Bridget, I've seen a couple things with like you and your husband and stuff. So cool. So cool. Can't wait to see you again. As a virtual student, do you get access to the academy? Yes. I see, Tom, you're already answering in there. Um, by the way, guys, so the for those of you who have access to the blueprint and everything, that stays up. Like you still have access to that. For those of you that have access to your company-wide blueprint, that's still going to be there. We're just now going to start adding a lot more value. And then more importantly, and hopefully I'm not overvaluing this, but I think it is important for you guys, you're going to get more live access with me. And that's really my big thing is just kind of like, um, how do I like, I got a lot to offer you guys. There's a lot of things I think about. There's a lot of relationships I have that can benefit you guys. And so I'm just really trying to, you hit the stage of your life and you just kind of go, okay, how do I give as much value as I possibly can with these people? And yeah, I think this is how we do it. And then we'll make adjustments as we go along as well. And we'll add things. And this is the lowest level value you're going to see from this program is everything I just told you about. I got a question coming live from in the room here on what? Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. She said, will they get first dibs on things like when we do social masterminds and all that? Yeah, absolutely. Like that is, those things sell out quick. And so, yeah, they'll be absolutely, you guys are going to be my community is what's happening here. Like you guys are my community. Like you guys are like, as we've grown and grown and we have all these different places with a lot of people and everything else, I more have to start looking at like, where do I give my value? Where do I give? And, we do a lot of content on like Instagram, but anyone who thinks I don't need to be in training because I watch his Instagrams, you have no idea. That is not like, that's like saying hello to your spouse and you get home and ignoring them for the next 24 hours. That doesn't mean you have a good relationship. What I give on Instagram is the hello, Uh for any of you, how many of you are in the VIP lunch? Were any of you in the VIP lunch, right? My real, again, maybe I'm wrong, but my strength is when we start getting into Q&A. And it's like, let's really start getting into, how this all works. Let's get behind the scenes. And even the VIP lunch kind of showed me like I need to do more of that. I need to it's one of the ways that I can serve best this community is doing that at scale and giving options for Q&As. So by the way, we may have lives where we do a live and it's our biweekly live, and I may literally just come on here and do Q&A and say, "Go, what do you got? Let's talk about it." Okay? Um and those are going to be valuable calls, based on the quality of the questions you guys ask. So, um, thank you, Matthew. Appreciate that, man. Matthew said that was great. I'm just going to keep putting the link in here to make it easy for you guys. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Have the videos been uploaded from the convention yet? No. Tom, how close are we on that? Very close. So, guys, we're actually going to put the replay of the advance for those of you who have access, who were there live. We're going to put it in the academy. So that's the other thing this opens up is we can have separate hubs and we can give access to people who have access. And so rather than keep the replay on the Hoova app, which is only for 3 months, we're moving it all over to the Academy app so you have access forever. Okay. And so we just think that's a better way of doing it. Okay. Plus, we want to push people to the Academy because the community is only as strong as the community, if that makes sense. Okay. I see a question, Elsie. Elsie, you want to unmute? Looks like you have a question. I see you, girl. I see that you're trying to ask a question. Just unmute. Go ahead and jump in, Elsie, if you're
I
able.
know, I don't think I had a question. Maybe I raised my hand accidentally, but
Oh, maybe you just give me a high five. We'll just say,
hi everyone from Canada. How's
didn't
that?
I just see you? Didn't we said hello, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, see guys, like this is what I love. Like you start to recognize people. Like you start to I need that in my life. You gave my wife $20.
Yep.
I love you even more. Okay, why wasn't it 100? I'm just saying.
Well,
Okay.
do you want to know why?
Why?
Because my husband said to me, he said, listen, you go down to R4 all the time. You're going down to see Jared at the advance.
Yeah.
You saw him last year in Nashville. He says, so do you know how many times I have to hear Jared's name in a month?
Oh God, that's great.
So
He's
he
just
said,
going. He's just going to Subway a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. He said, so I want you to offer his wife $1 for every time she says my name, Rob Tomasini, because she
That's
gets
hilarious.
$1,000 a month.
I don't like this story anymore. You said her husband's name 20 times. That's it. Get out of here. That's awesome. Hey guys, real quick. I saw also, and just so you know, Lori, I see your hand raised. Unmute, jump on in. But someone said, will the previous advances be uploaded there as well? I don't think so, Aaron, but it's a question Tom and I can talk about. We haven't really talked about it. Which script is your son using for the cold calling? Great question. I'll ask him because he used a script from Byron and then I switched it up. So I will find that out and send me a message and I will reply and get that to you. Lori said, I love the VIP lunch and it was amazing and helped great to know we're not gonna be burning alive. That is true. What
That's
about
what
the
I want.
materials from the breakouts, just so you know? Yes. So like not only on the replay on the Academy will we have the main stage, we had all of the people who did breakouts do Zoom trainings of their breakout because we can't record like the live whatever. So that's going to be uploaded along with their handouts or anything they talked about. So yes, you'll have access to all of that. Right, Tom? We have the slides. We have the yes. Okay. Lori, where are you at? Hi, Lori.
Right here.
How are you?
Hey, I didn't really have a question. I just wanted to publicly thank you for believing in us. I mean,
Oh, wow.
with everything going on in the world, a lot of us are feeling like we're burning and dying, and things are falling apart with NAR and all the lawsuits. And just thank you for putting this together and believing in us. And I mean, I'm 63 years old, heading for retirement, but you know what? I got to learn something along the way to stay alive my motto was stay alive till 2025. And I'm hoping that's still my motto.
God, you know what? Thank you for that. And I really believe, guys, and I'm so glad you asked that question because this is a big part of why we're doing these kinds of things. I really believe that a small group of agents are going to do better than they've ever done and are going to have their best years ever. Like I really believe that. But it's not going to happen by accident, you know? And so when I say, hey, maybe I'll bring a guy like Mangus in and say, how are you making more? And get very specific because there's so much motivation in our industry, you know, like, no, you're going to, no, you know, whatever. And there's a place for that, you know, like there's a place to be motivated and to feel good and to whatever. But like I said at the advance, guys, I can't stress this enough. Like we got to live in the boring, you know? The boring is where it happens. You know, like when people go, I don't know how you like running. I go, nobody likes running. It sucks every time. Like nobody finishes running and goes, do it again. Let's go do that again. That was fun, you know? But you got to live in that place of the things that suck, that are boring, that are, you know, and this gives us the ability to do that. It gives us the ability to bring those people in and do the boring crap so that we're not just talking about, you can have your best year ever. You can, you know, whatever. We can actually say, hey, we don't need to be super entertaining right now. Let's actually look at what that looks like. So what does that say on your contract? What are they like? To me, that's where the success is. So thank you for your comment. But that is a big reason why we're doing this is because I looked at this industry this last year and I said, man, we got a lot of defeated people. We got a lot of people that are just, they don't know if they're going to make it. Not only if they're going to make it, they don't know if they want to make it. They're like, this is stressful. I had Q. Q is like the number 1 or number 2 individual agent in the country for Remax. And I talked to him a few weeks ago, and he called me and he goes, Jared, you know what nobody's talking about? He goes, I've got 70 listings. I got to go out to 70 people one at a time, have the same conversation, change our contract we already have, listen to I don't have 2 listings. I have 70. And he's like, I don't even know if I want to be in this anymore. Like, this is just, they're making this suck. Like, they're taking a job that I love and they're just, and I'm like, when I have those kind of conversations, guys, like I internalize it. I'm like, all right, that's real. That is real. So how do we get around this? What do we do? What are our next steps? And so to me, this gives us the ability to kind of like, let's get personal. Like, let's get, you know, let's not only see each other at the advance, you know, in a 15-second picture, you know, I want to see people and recognize them. I want to know about what's happening. I want to keep my finger on the pulse of what are you guys really thinking? What direction do we need to go? What are you not being offered? What course isn't being taught? What interview do you need to hear? You know, I might throw out something like I said before where I go, maybe I have Linda do a thing and it's like she pulls together a bunch of ladies and says like, do they want to hear about tech CEO stuff? They don't want to hear about leadership. You guys might be like, no, we don't want to hear either. And I'm like, all right, babe, we're not doing that. You know, like you guys are going to determine on some level how much value you get out of this, you know, like tell us what you want, you know, that doesn't mean we're going to do everything because you're going to get people who are like, you know, I want to talk about purple balloons. Awesome. Wrong group. But you guys get what I'm saying. Like I'm open to the community. I think that's, you know, I've never said that before, but I like that. Tom, write that down. The community is only as strong as the community. Like we determine it, you know? And so I like that. But anyway, yeah, Reagan, I see you, girl. Embrace how your brain works. You know, Reagan knows we're both a little off. And that's fine. That's cool, you know? She said, embrace how your brain works and the systems you need. Well, that's a good point. When I say embrace the boring, guys, it's like we always talk about systems and processes, you know, and I heard someone, you know, when I was doing my closing session, I said, and by the way, Lenny, you can unmute yourself. I'll get to you in 1 second. I said in the closing, you don't get, you know, your goals don't determine where you go. Your systems do. You know, it doesn't matter what your goals are. Goals are like forecasts for a company. We just make them up. Your systems do. But this is the place where we can actually like screen share and go, well, what does that system look like? What does the follow-up look like? And like, let's do that boring crap, you know? Guys, are any of you in for that boring crap? Like, are you guys good with that? Or am I just so off base right now? Like, am I losing my mind? I feel like that's what we need. Yes, no, I didn't see a lot of hands go up, so I don't know. Like, are we in for the boring? Yes, no? Yeah. Way to be motivational. We're in for the boring. I'm going to start off next year's advance and I'm going to be like, I am going to bore the crap out of you for the next 2 days. You know, we're just going to start like that. All right, go ahead, Lenny. You had a question, man. If you want to unmute yourself, go for it.
I am. So yeah, I
Hey,
think
Lenny, how are you, man?
I'm doing great. I think what you were talking about a little while ago, there's a word or two words called repetitious boredom, right? In this
Yeah.
business, you have to embrace it in order to succeed. So you may or may not recall, this last advance was my very first one. I very much enjoyed it. I signed my wife and I up. She was not able to attend the advance this year, but definitely will be making it in the future. And I just want to ask one question about. I know when I signed us up, there were like a 2 calls a month or a 4 call a month type of coaching program.
Yep.
Um, I I don't really care about the 2 or the 4. I just want to make sure that we get everything that you pretty much talked about, right? In
Everything.
the
And so you are talking about you have your one-on-one coach,
Yep.
and then you get everything under. Like so you are in the highest best level of like the most that can be offered with you. You have somebody who's personally dedicated to you. Like that's and a lot of times you guys may be talking about things or going deeper on something that's been brought up here or whatever. It depends on where you are individually. So your coach is always assigned and is going to deal with you based on where you are individually and where you're trying to go, which is a powerful thing. But anybody who's a one-on-one, you get everything under. So even when we launch, for example, those quarterly sessions being taught by various coaches or people or whoever it is, if you want to, it's not something you're doing in your code, but you want to jump in on something you have interest in, you jump in and out as you want. You have access to everything. Okay.
Right. Well, I'll just say it again. I think I said it a couple times at the event, but I spent 23 years in a different coaching program, and my wife and I are so excited about this one. So we just can't wait we're biting at the bit to get started.
I love it, man. I remember talking to you too. I just recognize you look different on Zoom. Now I recognize. See, this is what I mean. Like now I know you. I will never see you again and not know you. Because you attach it to something, you know? That's so freaking cool, man. I'm psyched to have you guys in. I really am. And I'm not going to sound all like, whatever, but it does mean the world to me that I know where you spent 23 years. And that's a completely different way of doing things. And so kudos to you, my man. And what I'll tell you is, when you start working with your coach, it's going to be a little different and you're going to love him at first. And you're going to be like, this is so cool, so different. And then very shortly after, you're going to realize how addicted you are to the way you used to do things. And you're probably
Right.
going to hate your coach around month 2 or 3. Keep pushing. And I'm telling you, by month 4 to 5, you're going to be just fine.
We're
Abra,
excited.
I got time for one more and I got to get on another training. So Abra, go ahead, girl. I shouldn't let you on here since you weren't at the advance, but um,
Hey,
how was
you know,
Spain?
I plan. It was amazing. I planned so far ahead. I planned a trip in September when my girlfriend called because I knew the advance was in October. So, I hated not being there.
It is my
But
fault. That was a subtle way of saying my fault, and I hear you. You're right. Go ahead.
it's okay. That's what I get for being a planner. I'm so thankful you're doing this because, like we talked about at the social media mastermind, so many things are changing all the time, and so we need to hear from you regularly. So I'm so thankful you're doing this, and I think especially in this last year, we need a good, strong voice and somebody to help us, calm the waters or
Yeah.
know the path and stuff. I'm looking forward to the breakouts and stuff being on the academy so we can, because the team and I watched all of the main stage sessions.
Almost done. Literally almost done.
Yeah, so awesome. Okay. And the Monday calls with you every 2 weeks, those are going to be at the same time, 11 a.m.
Those are going to be, I think we're going to do those at noon Eastern.
your
We try to,
time,
because we have
sorry.
people in different time zones and we have, God,
Yeah.
now guys, we have people in different countries, which is
Right.
insanity. Like
Okay.
insane. I saw that Meta just announced that they're now going to take their Meta AI and they can transcribe your videos and the way your mouth moves to any language you want. So I think we're about to create a Jared James Espanol, Jared James Portugal, Jared James, whatever. Yeah, my mind's already going. I haven't told you guys yet. But yes, those are going to be Monday at noon Eastern. And
Okay.
and the first one's going to be the 7th, then the 21st. To all of you in the academy, we'll send out the schedule and the link to register as soon as this is over.
Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you guys. And I put it on my calendar now because, like Shelby said, if it's not on our calendar, it doesn't happen.
Yeah. You know what? That better be the only advance you ever missed, girl. I think you made like 9 straight or something, and then you missed the 10th. Okay.
I know it will be.
Someone
Don't
like
worry.
you, perfect attendance is gone. What's going on here? But
I'm
we're going to give you an
sorry.
excused absence. That is my fault.
A beach on Spain calls.
I put her on stage the year before, and now she thinks she doesn't have to show up. I don't understand here.
I was afraid he might put me on stage again.
I made a mistake, clearly. Okay. Yeah. I love you, girl. All right, guys. Hey, I put it in the chat one more time in here. Now remember, guys, any level. So like I'm giving you the academy level right now, but some of you have been on the fence and you're thinking about getting into one-on-one. If you get into one-on-one, you are in the academy. if you sign up for the academy right now and then you talk to Joe and you become a one-on-one, we'll just refund the academy. You're in the academy. Okay. I have to get on another training right now. I got to get back into that mode now. I'm about to go do a training for another company. Welcome to my world, but it's first world problems. Like it's an amazing thing that people even want you to do that. I seriously love you guys to death. We're going to have more about this coming out. We're going to be working on building the community within the academy as far as so you guys have threads and everything that are outside of our coaching group, the Jared James coaching group on Facebook. We want a place where it's just paying students. I think that's a different level of trust and just whatever the word is I can't think of. So one last time, I'll put the link here, guys. I love you guys. $75 a month. It's going to go up. We're just doing this as a last ditch thing. If you guys have suggestions on things you want to see, people you want to hear from, topics you need to hear, you need to tell us. Like, this is about you guys. Okay. So I'll end how I began. The community is as strong as a community. Okay. So let's do this together. I'm psyched, guys. Share this with as many people as you can. You got a one-time chance to get in at the price we're doing. And this isn't like some kind of, that's it. It's going away. Okay. So love you guys. I got to go. They're probably wondering where I am on this other call. I love seeing your faces. I can't tell you how much I love this right now. Seeing your faces. I love you guys. I got to run.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Love you guys. We'll see you guys.